Hi everyone, it's Green Mom Zoe again, and today I'm bringing you another instructional video on how to make water kefir. This video again is part of my blog on the healthy benefits of drinking water kefir. So if you have read the blog, this is basically the video that accompanies the blog and teaches you how to make the water kefir. Basically right here I have already made water kefir. That means there is grains on the bottom, which is the kefir itself. This is what they look like. I'm just going to show you. It's kind of like translucent cauliflower texture like. I'm going to show it to you right here so you can see it very well. This is basically bacteria, and I know it sounds scary at first when you hear bacteria, but it's a good bacteria that introduced to your stomach lining and the stomach juices. It kills all the bad bacteria, parasites, microbes, anything that makes you sick. So it kind of balances out the good and the bad bacteria in your gut. There's also a milk kefir, which I used to make back in December. But since I went raw vegan and I no longer consume any animal products, I like to drink water kefir. And they taste different. Milk kefir, it's kind of like sour milk texture, but it's very like liquidy-like. Whereas water kefir, it tastes more like soda. So it has effervescent taste to it, kind of like bubbly taste that soda has. First, of course, you need your water kefir grains, also known as water crystals. And if you're interested in getting those, I have plenty to share, so just message me at greenmomzoe@gmail.com and I would be more than happy to give you the details and get some of those healthy, organically grown grains to you. You should have about 4 to 6 tablespoons of grains to make successful kefir. Okay? Oh, just to mention, this is different than the powder water kefir or milk kefir that you can buy from the store. I know some people make their water kefir with the powder, but the downside of using the powder is that it does not last you long. I think it's about like 4 to 5 times that you can reuse the powder, and that's about it. Whereas if you get the grains, they live indefinitely. As long as you feed them and take good care of them, you can have them for a very long time. Okay, the next thing you'll need is a ball mason jar. This is 8-cup jar, so it can hold comfortably 6 cups of liquid with a little bit of room for the kefir to breathe. You don't want to like put so much water that there's no room for the kefir to breathe on top. Okay. You will also need a measuring cup, and I have 4-cup measuring cup here. You need a strainer, and please use only plastic strainers and only plastic utensils, as you can see I have here. The reason being is that since the grains are alive, they don't like any metals, so they don't do very well with metal strainers, metal utensils, metal measuring spoons, or anything that has any metal in it. So stay away from metal when you're using any kind of live cultures in general. You'll also need food for the grains, and by food I mean sugar. Water kefir thrives on eating sugar, so what you want to get is organic cane sugar, which you can buy from the bulk section at Whole Foods. It's very cheap. And also you need some coconut palm sugar or shukanat, which is the dehydrated cane juice. It's kind of brown in color, or you can call it even raw sugar. The reason being is that you want to use a mixture of those two because it has more minerals and nutrients in it, which stimulates the growth of your grains. Okay. You also will need some dry fruit, and the reason for the dry fruit is, again, it provides additional nutrition for the grains. They really love it, and they really thrive very well with dry fruit in it. So what you want to get is like dried apricots, dried figs, raisins. Just make sure they're all unsweetened and unsulfured. Unsulfured means that there's no chemical added to them to make them look brighter or fresher. So now I have everything laid out here to make the basic kefir recipe. Once we make the basic kefir here, we can show you a couple of recipes that you can make with strawberries, like strawberry lemonade, and mango and blackberries. So we'll get to them a little bit later. Let's start with the basic making of kefir. So this is your formula: 1 cup of water, 1 tablespoon of sugar, 1 tablespoon of kefir grains. Okay, so if you follow this ratio, you will be fine. If you get the grains for the first time, this is what you will have. Okay, so this is about 6 tablespoons of kefir grains. What you need to do is to fill your ball mason jar with about 6 cups of water. Because I am not getting the kefir grains for the first time, I have to start with my already pre-made kefir right here. Okay, so the kefir is already fermented, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to strain it. Okay. Okay, so this here is the strained kefir grains. I have doubled in size in over just 2 days, so you can see I have much more than just 6 tablespoons of kefir grains. Now the extra kefir grains you can put in sugar water container in the refrigerator. They can last up to a week without changing them, or you can freeze them for long-term storage. Next, you want to rinse off the kefir grains that have been strained. Okay, so just give them a good rinse with filter water or spring water. Never use tap water because it contains fluoride and chlorine, and they would kill your grains. So just remember that, never use tap water. Alright, so now we have the strained kefir on the bottom, which we can use to make our flavored beverages on the side. And we have the new kefir grains that have been rinsed, and we're going to add them to the new batch right here with the water. I already have poured 6 cups of filter water in this jar. Before I add the grains, I'm going to add the sugar. So this is 4 tablespoons of organic cane sugar. And I also have 2 tablespoons of coconut palm sugar, or you can use raw sugar or sucanat instead. Okay, so you add your sugar and you have to give it a very good stir. The sugar is all dissolved right now in the water. So if you're making it for the first time and you're starting with fresh grains, you just add your fresh grains to it. Or if you have a strained grains from the previous batch, you just add those grains. So this is what I'm going to do now. Remember, always use plastic measuring sets, spoons, strainers, everything has to be plastic. Okay, so I just added about 8 tablespoons of grains, and that's because I have so many extras here. As you can see, you know, you can add a little bit extra if you want. Alright, the rest of them I'll just add back to my extra grains, which will be stored in the refrigerator. Okay, the next thing you want to do is add your dry fruit. Right here I have 3 unsulfured apricots and 1 unsulfured Calimera fig. So just add those. Oops. Alright, so that will go on the bottom. By tomorrow, when the kefir is fermented, you will see that dry fruit will rise to the top. That means that it's filled with carbon oxide. That makes it lighter and makes it rise to the top. Okay, and the last thing, which is optional, but I like to add it, is 2 slices of lemon. The lemon makes it more alkaline, so the kefir tastes a little more alkaline as opposed to being too acidic. It balances out the flavor, so I really like adding just 2 lemon wedges. If you're using conventional lemon, you want to peel it out as it contains some pesticides or waxes, but this one is organic, so I don't have to do that. So I just give it a little squeeze and I just drop it inside. There you go. So there you go. You have your ready kefir right here. This is what it should look like. So now this ready kefir, you want to cover it with only paper towel. You never want to cover it with a tight lid or anything that will prevent it from breathing well, because what happens is that it can explode because the grains release carbon dioxide, which makes it ferment, and the gas produced can pop the lid and make the jar explode. So never put anything tight on top. Just like paper cloth like this would be sufficient, just to prevent any bacteria, any dust, any flies or bugs from getting inside. Okay, so this kefir, you would set it on your counter for about 24 hours. In 24 hours it will be ready, as you saw me earlier, and when it's ready you just strain it, which is right here. You have the strained kefir ready to be made into flavored kefir, and this is what we will do next.